Mickey, they only race him on the big tracks.
Right.
They never would go on the small tracks.
On your turf.
On our turf.
That's right.
Turf.
Wiggle It was. I mean, we're 10 minutes from Harrington. This your farm is a half-mile track. Does that give you an edge on half-mile track horses where you can develop them a little bit better?
We actually never really trained him on a half-mile track until he raced on a half-mile track at Harrington. He always trained on the back track.
So you didn't know until what, January? He started in January, right? Where he went a mile in 49?
49 flat at Harrington, yeah.
And that was the first time he was on a half?
I think that was the first time he actually raced on a half.
Yeah.
So that was the first time he stepped, and you just...
Like I said, we trained him out here, but this is a big half, a big 5-8 turns.
Right.
But we never went that fast out here like that.
So that was that's amazing that was his first time, and he
like a train mile.
destroys the track record and stuff like that. We didn't race Lather Up on Hambletonian Day last year. Was it just because in the cane pace? Was it just because he was racing in other races?
I think he had the Ohio stakes that we had to situate around.
3-year-old pacers. You got the North American Cup, then you have the Hempt, then you have the Meadowlands Pace, then you have the Adios, then you have the Cane Pace. Like that's essentially Cane Pace is the only one that doesn't have a limbs. That's 9 races in there, where you're racing for $3 million total in purses. How do you deal with picking the schedule? Are you trying to zig when others are zagging? Like you went down that road with Lather Up and Wiggle It Jiggleit. So what do you think? How is that schedule picking out?
Well, it's kind of tough because it's going to be hard going that many races at the speed you have to go now. It's hard to keep one fresh week in, week out like that.
Right. So do you have to just pick? All right. When do you guys decide? Okay, we're gonna go NA Cup, Adios, Cane Pace, or NA Cup. Do you guys decide early on, or kind of as week to week as you develop the horse?
His dad got to be one of the best at picking the races.
Okay, so you leave that up to George. That's kind of his specialty, maybe.
Yeah, he can pick where to go with this one and what races to go in, and then it keeps the horse fresh. Going through all of them. You skip this one,
right?
Go to that one.
With Wiggle It and Lather Up, you guys had to maneuver. When you have a top horse like that, like Wiggle It, do you guys say, no, we're going to decide and let others avoid us, right? Because when you got the top horse, you're like, no, we're the king here. We're going here and we're going to win that race. And you guys, if you want to get second, you can race behind us, right?
I've seen that more with Wiggles than Lather Up, just because everybody knew that we were going to go to the bigger money Wiggles, and sometimes the bigger money's on a half-mile track. We're going to be there.
Right.
If it's going to be at a 5/8 or something like that, we're definitely going to be there. We're not going to stick to a mile track, which helped us out a little bit with not racing against Always with Mickey a couple times.
Yeah. Also, too, the Breeders' Crown, you guys are racing early. The North America Cup is in June, but you can't just roll into the North America Cup. You got to be prepped. So you're talking, beginning of May?
Yeah.
Where you really got to start. Breeders' Crown comes at the end of October. Yeah. Very few horses end up still around that are winning the Breeders' Crown. I don't know what it is, but how many have won the North America Cup and the Breeders' Crown? It's an interesting thing. The Breeders' Crown is a $500,000 race and the championship, and it's a good stamp if you want to be a stallion,
right.
Or, I know we didn't have that with Wiggle It Jiggleit, but it's still a stamp.
Yeah.
Do you look at that as, it's a North America Cup for $1 million. The Breeders' Crown is at the end of the season. Do we give him time off in September, but then we miss the jug? Or how do you, is that George's thing where he just says, all right, we got to try to maneuver here?
See, with Wiggles, we did a lot of that with him because different times he might be off 6 weeks here and not race and get him geared back up for another race. And did a couple different times with him, where he didn't race right straight through.
Was it hard to get him geared back up, or is he just a special horse?
Special horse. It didn't take much for him.
Okay, so you've had plenty of other stakes horses throughout the years. Well, it doesn't have to be a 3-year-old pacer, but is it hard to get a normal horse geared back up? Do you try to keep them consistently racing?
Every horse is different.
Every horse is different.
Every horse is different.
So you guys all decide, all right, this horse, we know we can throw more at it. and get him ready sooner or later, or this horse is going to need a couple extra weeks to really rest after a big season.
And really, that's the thing with him, Lather Up and Wiggles. They're similar in that way. It didn't take a whole lot to get them ready to race.
His sire, you talking about?
Wiggle It Jiggleit.
Oh, okay, Wiggle.
Him and Lather Up, they're similar in that way. Lather Up, it doesn't take a whole lot of training before he can go.
So you're pretty confident whatever schedule you point at him, he's going to be good.
If he behaves himself.
I think he kind of showed that when he got locked up on the line as a 3-year-old, and he only went in 2 minutes.
Lather up?
Lather up.
Okay.
Because I was like yanking on him, trying to stay out of the pylons. He goes in 2 minutes and something, last corner in like 30 seconds. And then we changed the bit on him. Did the same thing we did. Take him to Miami Valley.
Chester first.
Well, Chester, he qualified, then he went to Miami Valley and went in 50. Run off.
Okay.
So, and I mean, he wasn't big favorite. Nobody really knew that he was going to be that dominant, but just shows you he goes 2 minutes in qualifier and 50.
What's the major difference between those two?
I think Wiggles is a little bit more consistent with his rigging. It's just easier to handle, and there's a lot more. How do you say it? Lather Up, he's more of there's
Prima
a lot more
donna?
upside.
He's like me. He's a prima donna. I've seen him around. He's very,
There's a lot more upside. Like if you can get him straight,
Okay.
you don't know how fast he's going to go.
Okay.
Wiggles, you always knew that he's going to go 49, 48, 50, whatever he had to do
Right.
to win. Lather Up, you get this thing straight, you don't know how fast it's going to be.
So Lather Up is like, I don't know, I guess if you call it, he's like a Mustang where you know what you're getting, but Lather Up's like a Ferrari.
Right.
Where
Soup that
you
thing
don't
up.
know, but also like, yeah, you tap the brakes a little weird, and the whole, the like
Car shuts down.
Right, a supercar is very, very fine detailed on those things.
Yeah.
Where yes, one thing can get 3 steps forward or 1 step back. So is that every week where you got to kind of worry about, hey, are we adjusting to the track? Are we adjusting to?
Yeah, we had to tweak him a little bit.
Always worried with him.
Always worried with him. So it's a little bit more stressful on your guys' part.
Yeah.
During the week.
Cause like when Wiggles would race, it was just
Send him out.
go.
You know what he did?
This dude, as soon as you go behind the gate, your heart starts pounding. Boom, 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 boom. Cause you're wondering if he gonna get around this turn.
Right.
Is he gonna get around the next turn?
What is that? How you feel as a driver, as well?
Yeah. I mean, lately, 3-year-old year wasn't as bad just because we had him figured out a little bit more this time. He came back a little. I mean, he did come back stronger and faster and everything like that, but it's just been a little bit harder to tweak him to be absolutely perfect. There's not like a lameness issue that you can do every week that you can figure out that he'll be perfect.
Sure.
It's just something you have to figure out as you go.
Okay. I give you one more big race that Lather Up's going to win in his career. Pick it. What's the next biggest race or accomplishment that he's going to do? Is it the Breeders' Crown?
What would we prefer, or
No, what's he going to do? You tell me. Come on, you guys.
I'd like to win the Breeders' Crown.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. You guys won a Breeders' Crown?
I haven't. Yes.
I've had we won quite a
And Rainbow
rainbow
Blue.
somewhere over Rainbow. We never won it with one of the colts.
Okay, so you
All the
just
colts we raced in the Breeders' Crown, we never win one.
right. So you win the big races with the fillies and the mares.
Yeah.
And then like the next step of, well, I guess the jug is big.
Yeah.
The pace is big, the cup is big. So, but the Breeders' Crown, no colts,
No
huh?
colts.
So
So
is-
they raced Western Ace, Total Truth, Badlands Nitro, Del Marvelous,
Southwind Links.
Southwind Links. No.
None of them.
No.
None of them. So we got to change that, right?
That's right.
He's a 4-year-old, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
4-year-old.
4.
What do we think of? I mean, he raced in the Franklin against Western Fame and McWicked, and this is the plan is 4. How do you feel about the 4s versus the 5 and 6 against the old ones? Do you not care?
I mean, they always have a little bit more experience, and you never know who's going to show up to be the top horse like McWicked was last year. But in elimination, we showed that we can beat McWicked. So confidence is high.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. So is it better to? I mean, you guys have these 4-year-old races, so might as well race them when you can, right?
That's guaranteed. Yeah, you
And,
got to take advantage of that.
And the Breeders' Crown the next 2 years, at least guaranteed, is Mohawk, 7/8 mile track, and Hoosier 7/8 mile track. So both of them, one.
You'd like to win both of them.
Okay, so you're just saying both of them, right? Yeah, that's it. Is there any other do you think he could race at Yonkers at the Levy? Is that a little too much of a stretch for him?
I think he can. I mean, it's just the race has to go perfect for him.
Okay.
I mean, like the Lord Brown Jug.
Right.
I mean, shows he can get around a half just as fast as anybody, 49. But
Is
he going to do it consistently 5 weeks out of the time?
Right. That's
I don't
tough
know.
on him.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
It's also a little tough for that series for a 4-year-old because you got to get him ready so early.
Yeah.
But maybe as a 5 or 6-year-old, he could probably roll through
Right.
that and good prep race and kind of get settled in. Do you think he can go in 49? Because I'm amazed. All the races that they've had at Yonkers, they've never had a 49.
Yeah.
49 mile?
No.
No, right? Like, isn't that amazing? No 49 mile. They just went in 50 a couple weeks ago.
I think Wiggle went 50 there, didn't he?
Yeah, 50-2 or something,
Yeah.
50-3, but no 49 miles. So
Never
think
really
about
had
all the other half mile tracks that have had a 49 mile, and Yonkers, probably one of the fastest one, has not.
Yeah. One time I did think I could have went 49 or more with Wiggles. And then the guy come in, he said, you were really, really close to the world record for this track, or track record. I was like, yeah, but it doesn't pay anymore.
Right. Oh, so
Take care of the horse.
Right. So Lather Up. I mean, what's the next? Do we got a 2-year-old coming along? What's the next? We had, you got all these horses. There's got to be something. Is there a 3-year-old hiding, 2-year-old hiding, a yearling? You got 30 horses out in the field out there. That one of them's got to be.
It'll keep you in suspense.
Oh, okay, all right. So, and that's the thing. We just pop up with these things, and bada bing, bada boom. This season, what's? It can't just be Lather Up. What other horses do we have that we can look forward to for the season? Or is it just Lather
That's
Up?
the main one.
Yeah, he's the main one.
He's the main one. So he's eligible to a bunch of stuff, and we'll just. Is he racing Hambletonian Day?
Yeah.
The Sam McKee thing.
And the Sam McKee
McKee,
U.S.
yeah.
Pacing Championship.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Redemption.
yeah, you gotta win that one, right?
Man, from my buddy Sam.
Do you think? Last question. Like the 46 mile, it's done. Those hot July nights in the swamp at the Meadowlands, it's almost more favorable to fast miles than an August Saturday in the daytime. Do you agree? Like, if there's going to be a hot mile, it's going to be like it was the other night, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's always the perfect storm for hot day. Track's perfect, everything like that. Like the Red Mile, when everybody goes down there to get a mark. But that was unbelievable. It was the last race on the card, and he goes at 46.
Yeah.
I think that just speaks volumes compared to perfect conditions.
All right. Did you one up Atlanta? Were you like, no, I want the spotlight. Give me the spotlight. Like, forget her.
I was going for the money.
You were just going for the money.
Yeah. The bonus was 46.
Do you have last question? You have on Hambletonian Day. What's your favorite race? Not necessarily that you as a fan. What's your favorite race on Hambletonian Day?
It'd be the Hambletonian.
Okay. How many have you guys raced in there?
We never raced one in it.
Never in the Hamiltonian.
Never had a horse in the Hambletonian.
All the horses you guys got.
Never had a horse in the Hambletonian.
What's the plan?
Yeah, we had a trotter.
Who?
We never had nobody race the Hambletonian, no.
In the final.
Nobody in the Hambletonian.
Mom
You
knows.
talking about Hamiltonian Oaks?
Danae won the Hambletonian. no.
Yeah, Danae won the Hamiltonian Oaks. We're going to talk
Never
about that
had
with.
Never
So
had
never in the final. You've raced all other races, every other thing. Never in the Hamilton. What are you doing?
Dad's main. We always have his pacers out there.
Get some trotters. You've had some success with trotters. Get in there.
They'll make you happy.
No,
They'll make you go bowling.
Oh yeah, there you go. There you go. What about you? What's your favorite as you're watching the races that you've? Is it the Hamiltonian as
It
well?
is the Hamiltonian.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
boring. Second race that you're looking forward to. We all know the Hamiltonian's good.
We've always. Can't think of the name of them. We always win, like Total Truth. Like I said, we'd always had like the.
Do you like
bigger
the?
races that they would have
King
after
Pace or
Hamiltonian?
something?
Do you like the 3-year-old pacing colts? Do you like the 2-year-old trotters that get on display and like the Peter Haughton Memorial and? But I guess you guys like the open pacers. Holborn Hanover set a record, 46-4 years ago, and
Like so, every year we'd always had the major pacing races on Hambletonian Day, we've had horses in them.
Okay.
Always win them.
Always, well, not always. Not always.
Most of the time.
Most of the time. So this year, Lather Up, and then hopefully on to the Breeders' Crown, and some of these 2-year-olds are going to start popping up, right?
Yeah.
Keep me in suspense.
Yeah.
All right.
In suspense.
Okay, keep me in suspense. And Breeders' Crown towards the end of the year, and Lather Up's going to win the rest of the races. All right? Sound good? Yeah, we're all because he's probably got to go another 18 months before he gets to Wiggle status. We love Wiggles, right?
And money.
all of it. So Clyde and Montrell, we'll look forward to the rest of the season, and we're gonna get Pops in here because I want to talk about the Oaks because you were too young, to even remember, right? That was you were 16. You know what's funny? I found the winner's circle picture, and you were in there, and you just pencil mustache and could barely grow a beard, and he's probably like this tall, right?
I missed it.
You missed it? Where were you?
At the Meadows.
Just racing.
Just back then we had a bunch of horses. Oh, I might be on the road at a month at a time. Come in, get a load, and go right back out.
You just don't even see like anybody here. You're like, oh yeah, right, we won the Oaks. Yeah, oh yeah, right. Hey,
actually, LM, he called me. He just won the Hambletonian Oaks.
We did.
Because then I couldn't.
Back then it was probably you couldn't watch it on your phone, right?
Couldn't watch it or nothing.
So you were just waiting for the call. Like, how'd we do in the Oaks?
He probably didn't even know she was in.
just like listen, we've all been on the road where days just fade. Like, is it Saturday? What? Oh, it's Oaks Day, right? I got a race at the Meadows. I'm just worried about this horse.
Because was it Lynx? I think he won that day. Southwind Lynx. I think he won.
Well, he won I think he won the Meadowlands Pace that week, or that year, a couple weeks before.
Yeah, but he win something same day than they win the Hambletonian Oaks. He was there. He win that day too.
Cane Pace or something.
It was something that he win.
Last question. When you were 16 at this point, you see your dad win the Meadowlands Pace. You got Rainbow Blue. You got all these horses you've grown up. Listen, we've all been 16. You remember what it was like? What point you're like, Tim Teacher, get out of here. I could do that. Like, was it when you're 16, 18, 20, 22?
No, I'd never been really that cocky like that. I mean,
no.
I mean, I was more happy for Dad than just thinking like I could have done that.
I kind of feel like as a 16-year-old, I've been like, as I get into it, I'm like, all right, he's pretty good, right? Like the further you are away from a Tim Teacher,
I got to drive against him. I'm not say nothing bad to Timmy.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like, as the closer you get to it, you're like, all right, like I understand now, like he's good. Yeah. But like as a 14-year-old, let me do that. I'll pop on because you're just full of it, you know. It's like, all right, but so it's quite interesting. The you don't realize how many horses you guys have had over the years, especially on Hambletonian Day, that just win all these races. So many more.
Like when I started, I think George had maybe 15, 16 horses when I started with him.
You've been here right along.
Yeah.
There we go. All right, so we got to go. Clyde's got to go. Montrell's got to go. We're going to get George in here. End of interview. How's that sound?
Sounds
good. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.